The roster rebuild for the New York Red Bulls continuing going into the early part of the 2021 Major League Soccer season with Steve Jolly. I'm Matt Harmon. We've had so much fun doing all of these player breakdowns. And Steve, it's the gift that keeps giving. It continues for us that we keep having new players to talk about. In this particular case, the Polish youth international Patryk Klimala on his way to New York with the new deal announced and signed. He'll come as a young DP and hopefully bolster the front line and look to put the ball in the back of the net.
What an opportunity here for us to, again, talk about a new player that we're excited about, a young player with a lot of upside, is coming off a year of which at Celtic that has a lot of question marks. But I don't know about you, Matt, but me, I love when players, especially forwards, come into a situation feeling like they might have to prove something.
Yeah, came up with as we said, he's a youth international player for Poland at the U19, the U20, the U21. You mentioned he had just signed a contract a little bit more than a year ago with Celtic in January of 2020, but with the transfer fee coming here to Major League Soccer as the young DP. And Steve, you know, if you follow what goes on in the Scottish Premier League, Celtic obviously an iconic club, but they are going through a rebuild. So maybe Red Bull feeling like, hey, this is a guy that we can get and needs that change of scene, maybe a new direction for Celtic, a new direction for Red Bull. Maybe it's a deal that works out for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm gathering the same perspective about it, Matt. I think this is a situation where Celtic has a lot of question marks right now and where they want to go long-term and even short-term. So if we can capitalize and take advantage of an opportunity to bring a young, talented forward in and help us score some goals, I'm all for it.
Coming up through some of the Polish leagues, a high of 13 goals in a season. He did score 3 times for Celtic. We take a look at some of his highlights. Steve, I love this first one because it's a bulldog mentality right here. Look at him fight off the challenge, not even worry about whether he's going to get the call. Get up and not only put it on frame, but score.
Yeah, he's not worried about what possibly could be a red card in that situation, that tackle. But if you want to say that he's has an ability to fend off some hard chances, then, man, for him to hop up like this and put the ball in the back of the net is kudos to him.
6 foot overall, so he could be that target guy. You know, thinking of the other players that New York has in those positions, a Fabio now at 6'4", a Brian White, a Tom Barlow. And it's been such a theme for us with all these player profiles. Get different pieces in for Gerhard Struber and let him figure out what's going to work with this re-engaged press for the Red Bull system. I love what you said before, Giles, as well. You know, making a move. He's been in the Polish leagues, been in the Scottish league, now here to Major League Soccer. You know, can you find a home now for a couple years? And it's never a bad thing to be a goal scorer with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder.
A little bit of a chip on the shoulder, but you can see the talent here, the talent with the pace, ability to finish off the ball. He's very optimistic, as you can see here. We love seeing this. If you're a Red Bull fan, anytime that there's a kind of takeover in terms of that first line of defense and him capitalizing on a mistake early and often, this is what excites me about this player. And quite frankly, I don't know too much about him, but you know, everything that I've been told and everything that I can see here with the highlights that we presented here, it's that this is a player who you know, knows how to finish the ball, and he's looking for an opportunity, and I think he's going to get an opportunity here at Red Bull.
And you know what I like, as opposed to maybe some of the other guys who have now been here for the last couple of weeks, up to the last couple of months, you're almost going to get this extra shot in the arm with a new guy coming in, but not having to wait until the summer transfer window.
I think that's a great point that you just made there. It's that, you know, we're kind of constantly loading up with players that, you know, can help us in some capacity. Here's a young, talented player. And again, I think it's the idea that, okay, he's going to come in here, and I think he's going to have that chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to want to prove something, and he's got this great big, you know, market in New York, New Jersey to shine in.
And you think of it, you know, we mentioned the other guys in those positions. Throw Danny Royer as the most experienced guy as one of those forwards as well. And you think of it, if there's 5 in the mix with now Klimala, Fabio, White, Barlow, Royer, I think the one nice thing, Steve, you know, maybe there's a connection between some of them, but to me, there's so many different qualities that all of those players have. Maybe they can play off of each other if New York is going to go with a 2-forward attack.
I think that's a great point. We're adding new names, and they're young, they're hungry, and it makes me excited that we're able to bring in another young player who is going to be a threat to other MLS teams right now.
And I do like, as we watch the highlights, you see him do it in different ways at different levels, both with the youth international team from Poland coming up, in the Polish league, in the Scottish league. So it seems like he can score in a variety of different ways on the ball, off the ball, good movement, nice diagonal runs. Hopefully another good piece for Gerhard Struber to work with. Partner, these have been really fun. I would love to say we can keep them going, right? If the roster keeps evolving, we'll keep doing it as long as they keep throwing us new guys, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me, but excited about the season, the very start of the season. I think we've got some opportunities here to get some points on the board.
He is Steve Jolly. I'm Matt Harmon. Patryk Klimala on his way to the New York Red Bulls as a young DP, the transfer coming over from Celtic.